Although people pass away every day, their methods of death are not always the same. There are tales of persons who passed away just to have their bodies go years without being found on this list. Such deaths go unreported for years. To avoid a police inquiry, certain people are purposefully kept hidden. In this video, we've come up with a few instances where dead bodies were discovered years later. Hello, and welcome to Amuse Top 10. Before we start, like this video, share and watch it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Number 5. Mother and daughter. Police officials in England found the bodies of Pauline Jessett, 78, and Caroline Jessett, 50, after investigating complaints about the safety of a residence. Investigators discovered Caroline's remains a week before discovering her mummified mother in the bathtub. Medical examiners thought both women had died naturally but could not determine the exact causes of death. Caroline reportedly had a mental ailment and lived alone. Despite neighbors' claims of not seeing Pauline in decades, investigators determined she may have been deceased for a year. Pauline was also a notorious loner. Number 4. Husband's body found after 18 years. According to reports, in 1969, John and Lee Ann Sabine left New Zealand with their 5 children. The couple promptly relocated to Australia using fictitious names. The daughters denounced them to the police when they returned to New Zealand in 1984 to visit their kids. The couple moved again, this time settling in South Wales. Lee Ann passed away from cancer in 2015. John hadn't reportedly been seen since 1997. Authorities discovered Lee Ann's remains in his wife's Beddow garden after his passing. His body had been covered in plastic sheets by someone. The detectives concluded that his wounds were associated with abuse and designated blunt force trauma as the cause of death. Lee Ann, who was killed, was the main suspect in the eyes of Welsh police. Number 3. Hidden body of 300 years discovered in Bishop's tomb. Researchers found the body of a preterm baby buried next to the dead Bishop Peter Winstrup in 2015 after scanning a 17th century tomb. Bishop Winstrup passed away in 1679, and a cathedral in the Swedish city of Lund houses his tomb. Bishop was a well-known person in Lund and had previously held the position of royal chaplain for Denmark. Researchers discovered his body and the 5 to 6 month old fetus beneath him to be in good condition. Investigators hypothesized that a stillbirth or a miscarriage caused the infant's death, and researchers are examining DNA to determine whether there is a connection between the two. Still, they think the infant's inclusion in the burial was intended to give it a Christian burial. Number 2. 23-year-old man found buried underground in lake. A 1981 Chevrolet Citation was accidentally discovered in 2015 by a fisherman on Hillsdale Lake. Fremont Oberg, a resident of Paola, Kansas, owned the vehicle. Oberg, age 57, was reported missing by his family in 1992. When Tim Leeper noticed human remains inside the automobile after using sonar to locate them, he called the police. Oberg reportedly had problems with his heart and liver. Despite no suspicion of foul play, medical examiners could not pinpoint the cause of death. Number 127. Boys found buried in storage locker. In 1973, following the murder of Houston serial killer Dean Corll, sometimes known as the Candyman, authorities discovered the bodies of 27 boys inside a rented storage locker. David Brooks and Elmer Henley were 2 teenagers Corll had hired to help him kidnap, torture, and kill neighborhood teen males. The accomplices told law enforcement they had taken part in the Candyman's crimes after dozens of people had died. Henley, who shot Corll to death, assisted Houston police in identifying the majority of the bodies that were found. Strange, right? But more such instances exist. If you know any, you can mention some in the comments below. And for more of such content, make sure to subscribe to our channel and press that bell icon to never miss an update by us.